I was 13, I did, and I have talked a little bit about this before, but I did start attending a church when I was about 13, and I did give my life to the Lord when I was 13, and my parents never went to church or anything. It was something I completely did on my own. It was always my own decision. I feel like it's very important that I share that because I became a Christian quite young. I feel like that some people could think, you know, I was, oh, you were raised in the church or something like that, but I definitely wasn't. So yeah, so I remember going along and giving my life to the Lord, and then feeling this overwhelming sense of love and like I'd never felt it before. Like I knew my parents loved me, I knew my friends cared for me, and I knew, you know, I was supported and all of that kind of stuff. But to have somebody, you know, who has created us to tell us that he loves us, and you know that the things that matter to us aren't as important to him, it's the other things, you know. And I feel like it seems so cliche sometimes when I say it, but it was definitely through my relationship with Christ that I really learned how to love myself. But it was a long journey, obviously. So I went through all of high school, and I remember when I was about 16, I think, up until that point, I'd never really had boyfriends or anything. I'd been quite awkward looking, like, you can actually look back on my old YouTube videos and all of that, and you can see my first videos are when I was 13. You know, they're really, really old, and I keep them on there as a beautiful reminder of where I've come from, and just in who I am and things like that. And so that's kind of what I looked like when I was 13. I had braces, and I was kind of just awkward, and I have a bit of a weird body type. Like, I don't think it's weird now, I think it's just a body type, it's just whatever. But it's kind of like I thought I had a weird body type because I was kind of like skinnier on the top half of my body and then bigger on the bottom half of my body. So I had a bit of a bum, and I had really quite athletic legs and stuff like that, and I kind of struggled with that. But when I turned 16, it was like over the summer, I think puberty just like did its job, and I just kind of came back from the summer, and I didn't even really realize it because it must have just it just obviously, I don't know, just happened. But I just got like more, I don't know, like puberty just did its thing, I have to say. You know, I just got a bit more attractive and kind of just grew into my features a little bit more and all of that kind of stuff. And so that was when I really started to notice that I got a bit more attention from guys and stuff like that. And that kind of it kind of messed with my head a little bit, because I'd always been the girl that had, you know, that, not always, not like all the time, but like if I did like somebody, I wouldn't tell them because they never really did like me back. Like, it was just kind of how it worked. Or people did like me, but they weren't the people that I was really interested in. Like, it was kind of frustrating. But what happened was I got a lot more attention when I turned 16, and I really I was really shocked, and I was kind of like, wow, but I still feel like a awkward 13-year-old on the inside, but on the outside I looked a bit more, you know, like a woman and stuff like that. And so it was really weird, but I definitely did struggle with that, and how to really handle that in a really honourable and respectful way, particularly being a Christian who was just trying to figure it out and all of that stuff. And then I went and did, when I finished high school, I went and did an internship with my church, working with young people, and I went to Bible college. And in Bible college was definitely where a whole lot of stuff just kind of clicked into place for me, if you know what I mean. Like, it was like everything just kind of came together. And the first year was kind of like a bit of a foundation in terms of setting me up to win and learning how to read the Bible and all of that stuff. But my second year of Bible college, I really just learned who I was in Christ, like my identity in Christ, and not just knowing it intellectually. I think that's something that's almost a bit easier to kind of comprehend, but knowing it in, you know, in my heart and in who I am, and really doing a lot of self-discovery and you know, spending time on my own and learning to love my own company, and learning who I am and having that all kind of come together. And in that second year, so I would have been about 19, is where I really just learned how to love myself. And it's like my whole life I had been taught in small ways how to love myself, but in that year it was really like I really did, you know, like it kind of all finally came together.